What's up, guys? Back again with another episode of A Storm in a Teacup, the podcast. This is our fifth episode. I like round numbers like that, to be fair.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I love it. I've got this thing about it goes up in even numbers, fives, and just like the number three, because 23 is my lucky number. But
Three
he's
is
already
mine.
spoken. Say that again?
Three is mine, so
He's already spoken, so I'm Charlie, and I'm with my co-host Sam.
I am Sam.
He is Sam. He is Sam. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. I don't know why I'm so energetic, to be honest. I haven't even drank from my coffee, which I do have. I'm getting better at this, bro.
Yeah, I also have it modeled in the same cup as every other episode.
You know what's good though? I'm changing each mug, and I've got probably your favourite mug. I've got Tina, the alpaca llama. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, like I said, I've had it in the same mug every single time. You can't really see the front. There you go.
I'm slowly getting more and more used to black coffee as well, because I'm still just having it. Yeah. But that's enough of me talking, because you said it last episode that I talk too much. So boom.
As a joke.
Yeah, but I don't know. You're passive aggressive with these things. But Sam, take it away with what we always start our episodes with: our teacup.
Yes, so this is the weekly segment where we just talk about what we've done in the last week, because we think of you guys as like our friends, and we want to have that kind of atmosphere. So
apart from that one guy, that one guy, you know who you are.
You in the back. You're a bit loud. Hold on. Technical stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going first. What I've been up to this week. Not gonna lie, super slow one. But there was a little bit of a hiccup in the middle of it, which I'm gonna start off with.
Oh.
I fell out with a couple friends. Just over like. See, I'm the type where like I don't talk about things straight away. I just kind of like sit on them, and if they don't improve, then that's when I feel like I have to speak up. But like if something goes wrong and then I, go at it straight away, then that's not how I function. So yeah, I had a little falling out with one of my friends this week. So I just took a couple of days to like simmer down, and then I just kind of like laid all my issues out on the table, really, because for like a year now I've just kind of like not argued. I know you've like seen this firsthand, Charlie, because we've had our like disagreements, if you will. Yeah. But we're still boys. And
I didn't wait. The camera didn't see that. Oh. Pound on my chest.
I don't know what you did. Oh, I did to Tarzan. So yeah, I just like talk to people, because I feel like if you let your emotions get the better of you, then that's not productive conversation for anybody. And you're not really going to say how you feel. It's more how the emotions make you feel, and I'm sure you'd agree with that, Charlie.
I highly agree. Yeah. I do.
So yeah, like I said, I just laid out all my issues on the table. He was fine with it, and yeah, now things are great again. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, before you let your emotions get the better of you, just take some time to think about what it really is that you want to say, and then you should get a much better result than you would otherwise.
One second. Sorry, I just had to plug my laptop charger in.
Yeah, no worries.
I highly agree with you. I'll talk about it more in my weekly teacup. I am gonna bring it up, but yeah, like I've had a similar situation this week where I've just had to lay the cards out on the table, and I think both of us do take similar approaches where we do just take a step back, and when we are feeling a bit down or angry, we don't just go full in, because I think you'd agree, like, for me personally, the worst thing you can do when you're angry or upset is continue with the situation you're in, because I just feel like you're gonna end up saying something or doing something you regret.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm glad, and I'm pretty sure the person in question is glad that everything's resolved. To be fair, on your side.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, it's a bit of a slow one this week, so I guess I'll talk about something that Charlie's going to talk about in a bit, I'm sure, because we've been doing it together.
Yeah.
But I've been an absolute man-child, and I've been playing Fortnite pretty much like all week, and it's embarrassing to say like how invested I've gotten in it. Um, but yeah, I've like put money in it, so I'm trying to get my money's worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not bad, if I say so myself. I mean, like, I'm probably not the best teammate at times, and I'm sure you could agree with that as well.
Oh,
But
you've gotten better. You have gotten better because, like I said in the last episode, me and Sam played Fortnite like not when it first came out, but like a little while into after it just came out, and one, we were absolutely trash, and two, Sam was possibly the worst teammate I've ever played with. Um,
well,
yeah.
that's not true.
You left me to die every single time, and for anyone who has played Fortnite, you'll understand. But for people that don't know, there's these little treasure chests that you can get that have like guns or ammo or health or just items in them. You find them across the map everywhere. I would find these chests, and I'd say to Sam, "Oh, there's a chest over here. I'm just gonna grab it." He'd come, follow me, wait for me to open it, and then just steal everything in it. So
I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know what you're talking about.
ah, whatever you're telling me, whatever.
I
whatever
think
you
you
say.
like cut out the whole time you were talking. Then I don't know what you said.
Oh, for you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Um, apologies for that. You did that earlier, actually. You cut out. If there is any technical difficulties, don't worry. There will be a disclaimer at the start of the video.
oh wait, I was
But
joking about the cutting out.
oh, okay. But I wasn't.
Oh,
You know, lads and ladies, this podcast still is a work in progress, and we are getting a lot better with the technical difficulties that we've been having. But if there is anything, we're trying our best to improve it. But yeah, just bear with us. We'll get it sorted. But anyway, back to you, Sam, with the fortnights and the rest of your weekly Teacup. If there is
I
anything
was
else.
just gonna speak on what you just said actually. And like you said, it's something we're getting better at.
Hmm.
And I don't know about you, but like camera wise, like actually, I don't even want to say performing, but like the recording bit, we're like super comfortable now. Especially compared to like episode 1, where we're like, are we gonna make time, and like
Yeah.
lacked as much confidence. So like technical side, recording, like on camera personality wise, we're getting so much better, and I hope that everyone sticks around to see that improvement.
I think the biggest thing my side is, I mean, when I'm with someone, it does get not intimidating, but I think some people may sometimes get a bit, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but a bit like, whoa. But I've always been taught to, when you speak to someone, you look at them in the eyes.
Yeah.
You know, it's something I always do. Like, yeah, I'll look around a little bit when I'm trying to think about something, but I always look someone in the eyes when I'm speaking to them.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm just sat here having a conversation with you on Skype, I'm just looking around, and I keep doing that. I'm not looking at the camera.
Yeah, no, Sam,
Just,
I keep breaking contact, thinking it's like, eye contact, just so they don't feel too creeped out.
I've seen those memes where it's like when you're on the phone to someone for hours and you just start doing random stuff. That's what it's like on Skype. That's what it's like. And I'm trying so hard not to just like grab a basketball and start trying to spin it on my finger in the middle of a podcast. Even though that might make great entertainment, I don't really fancy like smacking my laptop. And my mom is calling me. She called me earlier today, and I missed her call. And she's calling me again now. Mom, again, if you're watching this, I promise I'll call you back. Please just give me an hour and a half, Marge. I love you. You know, I'll call you back. I promise.
Yeah, no, they'll have to wait till episode 50 before we start getting like insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've just been intensely gaming all week.
Mm.
Um, because we spoke about it earlier, I'll talk about it now. Like I have been quite scared of like because we've spoken about it before how the two of us are trying to like find work and stuff. Because of being broke and not having a job. Woohoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of what's going on right now, like the lockdown and everything, I don't particularly want to go outside. But you made a good point earlier when we were talking before we were recording, about like they could always just defer the application until like everything's over. So I think I am gonna pick all that back up, like pretty soon. Probably even after we finish this recording.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I haven't spoken about a lot within this podcast, but I'm a member of the Royal Television Society. I'm a part of their bursary scheme, and from that, I do get some benefits in terms of having some links with the industry that I want to get into, that being television and media. And this week, actually, that's something I can speak about in my teacup. I'll go into it in a bit more detail when it's my teacup. But I did have a video call with some people that do work in a company. I'll name it later. That is a pretty like high profile media company, and they did say, and this is just for anyone that's watching that is like thinking about work, thinking about jobs.
Thinking about not working because of right now.
Yeah, thinking about not working, but is like scared about what the outcome will be after this is all blown over. Once this has blown over, there will be a ton of jobs opening. There will be companies just trying to hire as many people as possible to get everything back up and running again. So, from the people that told me, I'm just passing the message on to everyone else watching this. As much as things do seem a bit bleak at the moment, they will get better, and there are jobs out there. There will always be jobs out there. We just need to power through this this rut that we're in right now, and just get through it. But you're not the only person that's broke. You're not the only person that doesn't want to go out to work because you're worried about your health, and you're not the only person that is eager to get out to work but you can't because there's no jobs going. Everyone, every industry has come to a halt apart from those key workers. So, it everything will happen over time. But yeah, just stay safe, stay inside, only go to work if you're a key worker and you have to. And the government is literally telling us to stay inside and watch TV. Bro, do it. Just do it. Like,
See, that's one thing that I really enjoy about this podcast, though. The fact that we like don't embellish anything, and that we're like our authentic selves, and the fact that like we're like actually relatable, rather like we're not trying to be relatable. We're just people talking, and if people relate to us, fantastic. So there will absolutely be people in similar positions than I'm in, that Charlie's in. So yeah, if you are in the same situation, then yeah, like I said, consider the fact that you don't have to work right now, and that you can still apply, but just not like go to work.
Yeah.
But
I'll carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, to the people that do work, it's probably a good time to say. I think we said it last episode as well, but it never hurts to spread some love. To the people that are working, obviously, I'm sure I speak for Charlie as well, and like probably the whole country, when I say that we are super grateful for the people that are, putting themselves at risk just so we can have those essential services that we need. And yeah, thanks for being out on the front line, really.
Yeah, I mean, like just reiterating what Sam has said, like those key workers that are out there, it doesn't matter what job you're doing, whether you're a bin man that's having to risk himself by going out and picking up litter, such as masks and gloves that people have dropped, or someone working in the NHS, or, we appreciate what you're doing. I mean, I know she's going to listen, but, and, everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's his girl, that's why he's doing it. But, I'm gonna say, like, a big, massive thanks to Hat. Like, nothing worries me more than when she goes out every day to work. Like, not only is she putting herself at risk, but she's putting all the people that are in vulnerable positions at risk. And it's just like, it worries me. It worries all the families that have to rely on people like her, that are giving these people care because they can't go see their family. So, a big, huge thank you to Hat. But I just need to reiterate, I would not be worrying so much if people just listen to what the government are saying. Stay inside. The amount of people that I've seen outside just from my window, just riding bikes up and down the road, groups of lads and girls in like groups of 7 or 10, like, just go home. Like, there's Skype, there's Zoom for a reason. Like, same with, I doubt there is any police officers or security officers like watching this, but if you see someone that shouldn't be out, just tell them go home. There was a police officer that drove through our local high street last week because me and Hat had to go to the bank to put money in because no one's taking cash. So when our bank accounts are running low, we're putting the cash into the bank accounts, so we don't have to give cashiers physical money because we don't want to put them at risk. But there's people out there, there's families out there that are just sat, just basking in the sun in the high street on the little seats that they've got, and the police officer just drove through and didn't do anything. Like, guys, just stay home, because at the end of the day, the longer you're out seeing your mates when you shouldn't be, or you're out going to the high street to pick something up when you shouldn't be, the longer you're going to be in this lockdown, and the more intense the measures are going to be. And I can say that I miss my family, Hat misses her family, and we're not going to be able to see those people until all of this is over, and it's not going to be over till people start taking it a bit more seriously. So, yeah.
See, with what you just said, like, it to people like you and I'm sure to a solid 99% of people watching, like, what you just said doesn't apply to us. But it's like astounding the number of people that like aren't listening, because you'd think that everyone by now had got the memo.
Yeah.
But like you've had Jack Grealish, I don't know if it was this week or last week.
Yeah.
But he's a footballer for Aston Villa, an English football team here, who only really got outed as like not listening to the lockdown enforcement because he crashed his car.
I think the worst part about that was, I swear he tweeted a video like either the day before, a couple of days before, or even that same day, saying, oh, everyone, stay indoors, blah blah, make sure you stay safe, and then he goes and pulls a stunt like that.
I mean, yeah. Just in case there is anybody that does need the message to sink in some more, it's just super irresponsible. Not just for yourself, but you're gonna spread it to other people if you surround yourself with other people who can then spread it to even more people, and it's just like a Pandora's box, really. That's the only way I can really describe it. It's like exponentially spreading.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just bad news all around, and it's just not worth the risk, really. But I think that's everything on my end, Charlie. So if you want to talk about what you've been up to this week,
Yeah, I will, because
then go right ahead.
I don't want to go into a massive rant, because I can
Yeah,
speak
no,
for that.
it is annoying.
Yeah. But boom. First thing most, I hope most noticeable, is I let Hat cut my hair. I I took the plunge and I said to Hat, "What do you fancy cutting my hair?" And you know what? She did a pretty decent job of it. I am. I was stressed when she was doing it. I was stressed after she did it. I was quiet. I was a bit upset. Um, but you know, I've grown to it. Ironically, because it's growing, but I've grown to it. Like, you know, so no, thank you, Hat, for cutting my hair. All the guys that are out there that are shaving their head, completely shaving all their hair off. I'm not gonna be like you. I have to have my hair. I cannot be bald.
Oh,
But
come on, man, join the club. I'm bald.
nah, you know, I was thinking about it the other day.
Uh huh.
Um, well, when I was in sixth form, Sam will remember this. I grew my hair out for a year. I grew the top of my hair out. I had a short back and sides, but I grew the top out. And it was long. Like it went past my chin. It was long. Um, I would fully prefer to have that hair now, even though it was such a pain to maintain. Um, it was a pain to maintain and keep clean, but not as much as like the haircut I've got now. I would love to have long hair right now because I wouldn't have to do anything to it. Because the problem is there's that awkward stage when you're growing out your hair where it's not long enough to be considered long hair, but not short enough to be a haircut. It's that medium length, and it looks awful, and you look like a mess. And you're halfway there between like, should I cut it all off or should I just keep going? And I can't go into that stage anymore, man. I've just got to keep Harriet cutting my hair.
I mean, like, this is like the perfect time though to have awkward hair. So,
Yeah,
because no one has to see you,
but see,
unless you run a YouTube channel where you show your face every week.
this is the thing. Like, people keep saying like, oh, you know, I'm gonna do this to my hair. I'm gonna do this to my hair. Um, blah blah blah. Because no one's gonna see me. Imagine if like there's that one guy that's just like, you know what, I'm gonna dye my hair bright green and have a mohawk and dye my eyebrows purple because no one's gonna see me. Does it all. The day later, oh yeah, lockdown's lifted. Bro, imagine. You know what? Because the thing is, I'd be that guy. I'd be the
Yeah,
guy to be like, you know what? I've always wanted to try this hairstyle. I might as well try it. I'm gonna put some slits in my eyebrows. I'm gonna have a pattern shaved into the back of my head, and I'm gonna go for it because no one's gonna see me. Day later, lockdown's lifted. Get back to work. I go in. I get invited to a new job. It's just like, oh yeah, we really like you. Um, we need you to get to work. How about you come in next week? I've just got to like wear a hat, shave off my eyebrows.
yeah. You just leave lockdown looking like a 2K character. Just
But yeah. So hat cut my hair. Thank you, Harriet. Um, what else have I done this week? Oh, big update. Well, I say big. Um, Update for myself. My knees are a lot better. Um,
yeah.
I can actually walk up and down the stairs without feeling like I'm about to cry. Um, yeah, they're a lot better. I still haven't been working out just because I wanted to give them like a full week of resting. I didn't want to wait for the day they got better and just be like, oh yeah, I'll go back out and start skipping again because that's the worst thing to do. Um, but yeah, they're a lot better. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm a lot happier. Um, what else? What else? What else have I been? Oh, um, I mentioned it. So I had a call with um some people from the RTS and two people who work in the television industry. They work for a company called All Free Media, and they do a lot of work with Channel 4. They do a lot of work across the broadcast industry, and the two people that were in the call, lovely, lovely, lovely people. I learnt loads. We just spoke like there was 10 bursary students in there, and we just spoke about what we're going through really. Um, with the whole lockdown situation, about uni, about our university projects. They gave us some really good advice, and though you know, some of the advice they did give was like start doing something that you always wanted to do. I've started a podcast with you, like
Yeah.
refine your skills in something. Well, I'm refining my editing skills by doing this podcast. Um, they were just giving some really good advice, and they were just like really, really helping cement the fact that everyone is in the same situation. These people have worked in the industry for years, and their jobs just come to a halt because there's nothing they can do about it. The whole industry has just come to a halt unless you're like working in the news or something. And people like me who are in my final year of uni, my final year, final semester, this is the time we're meant to be looking for a job and, having interviews and so on and so forth. We're literally like, we're terrified. But the call we had really calmed us down and like helped us realize that once this is all over, hopefully there will be a big break just in the industry where we get back up and running, and you know everyone is in the same position. So it's not like we don't have jobs lined up for us because we're not skilled enough or because no one wants us. It's because no one can hire anyone because they just don't have the facilities to, because the whole situation. Um, have I been up to anything else? You know what? When you try and think about what you've been up to, unless you've had like a really interesting or really dull week, it's actually hard. I've had one of those middle weeks where I've done a little bit, but I haven't done loads.
You know, I am on one of those completely doing nothing weeks. So I have no idea how I spoke for like 10 minutes about what I've done because there's just nothing.
The only other thing I've been doing is finishing off uni work. Because I've got a deadline Monday. And I've got another deadline. That it's our major project. We've just been finishing off and refining some work for that. We had an extension on our deadlines, and it has really helped because it just means I can take my time with the work. You know what I mean? But the last thing I'll be doing is playing Fortnite with Sam.
Getting W's.
Getting the dubs.
There's proof of that actually because we did it yesterday. There's proof of our wins on Twitter because yours truly posted them via my PlayStation. But we got 2 in a row, which is quite difficult to do for us at least. So
we did, and today we jumped on, and our first game we got a win.
What can I say, man? We're too good. It's not fair.
My camera stopped recording, so I'm just gonna go sort that out.
More technical difficulties. I guess I'll do my dance. What one today? What's that Renegade one?
I don't know. I
think it's like, and then you do some things.
Well, the camera's back on.
Okay, cool. Because that was embarrassing.
The only other thing that has happened is I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but it happened very recently, and by very recently I mean like yesterday. A bit upset with Sam.
Right, and this morning then, if you're talking about that.
Yeah, I got a bit.
We spoke about it this morning.
Yeah, I got a bit upset with Sam. Yeah, and like we're all good now. We're not just like. I think something that did worry me about what happened was that it didn't happen at like the start of the week. It didn't happen on a Monday where I had the whole week to kind of like calm down. It happened on the Thursday/Friday, and we record on the Friday. I was thinking, am I just gonna have to let this all slide to record the podcast? Am I gonna have to turn around to Sam and be like, I don't want to record the podcast today. I have to put a message out, like. But yeah.
Yeah, because that's a difficult one because we've spoken before about how we never want to like not have an episode come out.
Yeah.
And there's going to have to be some like crazy circumstance to stop that happening. So yeah, like you said, the fact that it happened on recording day pretty much is a bit scary. But like we spoke about earlier, we just kind of like talked it out.
Yeah.
We didn't let our feelings get in the way. We just said what we thought, resolved it, moved on. We're cool now, and now we're making the episode.
Don't get me wrong, like it is probably something that I am going to speak about with Sam a bit more in the future.
Mhm.
But as far as I'm concerned, if things weren't 100%, I wouldn't be sat recording the podcast. You know what I mean? Um, and I think that is just the thing, and like reiterating what Sam was speaking about earlier when he said that he had a bit of a disagreement with some other people. Taking time to just sit back and have a think about things before you go into something is like very important. Like, you know, I was pretty upset, and I did. I mean, I sent Sam a message this morning explaining why I was upset, and Sam doesn't necessarily know. Well, Sam won't know this, but I had the message written out, ready to send since last night.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, I kind of suspected that because it was
yeah,
quite long.
yeah. Because the thing that I've started doing now is if I am upset or I am um feeling some type of way, I'll write down why I'm feeling like that to the person, and I'll sleep on it. And if I wake up and I'm still feeling the same, I've got the message there to send. And if I don't, I'll just delete the message. But yeah, I think taking time to just sit back and think about whether the situation is something that does need to be spoken about, or whether it's something that, you know, you may have overthought, maybe you need to reanalyze it a bit more, is defo a big moving point. And I think it's something that we both learned and matured over the years. I mean, you know, Sam does take his sweet time when he's in a mood, and but I would prefer Sam to do that rather than him to just blurt out stuff that he may not necessarily mean. Um, the only thing is, sometimes I do get a bit worried because if I have annoyed Sam and I get run over by a car and he's the only person that I can call and he's in a mood with me and won't pick up, then I'm kind of screwed. So, yeah, um, pick up your phone even if you're annoyed with me, please.
I
Uh,
don't know what to say to that,
yeah,
if I'm honest.
just in case. Oh, you know, what? Funny story actually.
Oh, that
Um,
laugh made the audio peak. Jeez.
my mom, I mean, she called me. She was like, she always says I never pick up the phone. That's a lie. I do pick up the phone unless I'm busy. Um, and she was like, "You never pick up the phone to me." I was like, "Marge, I do." And she was like, "No, you don't." She's like, "What happens if something happened to me and you know I need you to come out?" I was like, "Well, you wouldn't call me." And she was like, "What?" And she's like, "What happens if I fell down the stairs and I needed help?" I was like, "Well, first off, you call an ambulance. Then you call Harry, my older brother. Then you probably call Brad, my younger brother, and then you'd call me." But yeah,
See, I'm kind of in the same boat because I know my mum would absolutely call my sister first, and I know they're most likely going to watch this together, and they can't pretend that that's not what's going to happen. Um,
but yeah, you know what? Going back to Fortnite, um,
again,
again, it's been nice, having time to just chill out and play video games. I'm not gonna lie. Um, you know, it is something I enjoy. It's something that is like a big pastime for me, and it's a good segue into just speaking about it. You know, I know that video games is a very, I want to say a big part of your life considering the whole uni situation. Um,
can I just butt in real quick because
uh,
I have a couple of things to say about the last subject.
oh, sounds
So
good.
first of all, this is probably like one of the very, very few times where I talk to exclusively Charlie and
Mm,
like not the audience. But you know that like well everyone else that knows me as well, they know that I'm super like I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'll tell you how I feel. So like what I said in response to your message and how you felt
mm,
was like 100% the truth. So like you know that I'm never going to say anything just because I think it's going to like alleviate a situation because that's not going to help anybody in the long run. So yeah, I just wanted to say that first of all. Second off, This is what I thought you were about to say, but it turns out it wasn't. But this week, oh god, this is gonna sound super gay. It's right, I can say that I'm gay. This week has been super nice because we've spoken quite a lot, and it feels like for the past few we've kind of just saved all of our conversation for the podcast.
Yeah.
And then spoken for that little bit, and then kind of been right, see you next podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been nice, talk without recording it. As crazy as that sounds, but by no means do I dislike doing the podcast or anything like that. It's like the highlight of my week, pretty much.
Yeah.
I have boring weeks, but yeah, no, it's been super nice just to become normal again. I guess you'd say.
I agree. Going to the first point you made about how you wouldn't say something just to try and dissolve a situation, but you didn't mean. Put it all out there. Sam sent love hearts to me. He said he cared about me. That's a big thing from Sam.
Right, now they really know I'm gay.
Exactly. But no, it is.
Does it count if I put no homo?
So this is the part where my phone buzzes because that's what Sam's text me.
No, it's not.
But sorry, I'm looking at my phone just because I've got a glass back on my phone and it's got a mark on it, and I'm really hoping that it's not marked it from my phone case.
I'm really tempted to say no homo now that you brought it up.
But I mean, I'm the same. When it comes to, I don't say stuff just for the sake of saying it. I mean, there's something I said to you on New Year's Eve/day when we were out, and I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. 90% of things that happened that night I do not remember, because there were some adult. Oh no, it's gonna sound like illegal things. That I was drinking adult drinks. There you go. Let's say that.
Yeah. If you want a little recap of what happened on New Year's, please feel free to go over to the Instagram because there's photo evidence of what happened.
Yes, spoiler alert. Me with my trousers around my ankles.
Yes. But I said something to you in the pub, and it was a big thing to say. It sounds like I'm saying I love you or something.
I think I know what it was, because I was literally thinking about the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably today actually. So it's kind of weird that you bring it up if you're bringing up what I think.
Oh, I swear this is marked my phone. But yeah, it's a pretty big thing. I'm not releasing the information. A bit of a tease, but it was a big thing to say, and it's a bit of a big responsibility for both myself and Sam.
Yeah, I definitely know what it is.
Yeah, but I don't just say stuff like that just because I'd had a drink or because you were there. I said it because I meant it, and it's just I think that's the thing that me and Sam have in common, and why we gel so much, and why this podcast runs so smoothly. Because if Sam annoys me, I'll say to him straight, bro, you've annoyed me. If Sam's done something great, I'll be like, bro, good job. I mean, there's something amazing that collectively we've done, but Sam initiated it, and you will find out later. But bro, good job for that. I know we worked in it together, but hats off to you. But yeah, I appreciate as well the second part you said about how we're talking more, because as much as I do like leaving things in suspense for the podcast, sometimes there will be things that happen that I will just have to message and be like, bro, this is going in the podcast, but I need to speak to you about this. If I get a job, best believe after Hat and my mom, you'll probably all get a group text message saying, lads, I got the job, before anyone in the podcast knows, unless I find out because I got a call during the podcast. But it's one of them, and it has been nice to sit down and speak, and as well speak about like non-podcast related stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
like you said, I totally agree. The podcast is like the highlight of my week, apart from seeing my lovely girlfriend. Oh. But you know what I mean? Like
Can't relate.
it is a big highlight, and I do love doing it. But at the same time, I love just being able to jump on PlayStation, load up an absolutely awful game, and just sit and waste hours just chatting absolute rubbish to you while dying in a video game.
Did you just call Fortnite awful?
It is. It's an awful game, but it's so addictive.
I'm offended.
I'm just saying, get to Call of Duty, man. Get to the gulag. Get to the gulag.
See, I don't like that, but we might talk about that in a bit. I'm not sure.
Get to the gulag.
But yeah, it's just nice being goofy and saying stupid things like "I love gold."
Oh my god! I'm gonna. The YouTuber that I found that he uploaded the clip of that, and I might have to insert that clip in. But yeah. Segue to video games. Video games. I don't want to say it's a big part of my life, but you know, it was very much an escape for when I was younger because I just loved sitting there playing video games. What a big boy memory I have is me and my older brother used to have a PlayStation 2, and we had a couple demo discs that had the demos of games on them. And I remember the first game that me and my older brother played against each other was, I can't remember what football game it was, but it was a football game, and the only teams that you could play as were England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland.
Wow.
And it was absolutely terrible, but that's the first football game that me and my older brother played. And we used to play that on one of those old Einstein TVs, the ones with the big backs, but they were tiny, and when you turned the screen off, you could hear the static. Like,
Oh gosh, yeah.
but yeah, you know, video games are very important to myself, and like I said, I believe that they are. Wait, okay, no, I believe that they're pretty important to you with the whole uni situation. Care to elaborate, Shan?
The uni situation, you mean me not going?
The first thing you went to uni for?
Oh, yeah, of course, the DOI. I don't know if it really counts, but I don't think I've ever spoken about this, actually, on
You
the
haven't?
podcast at least. But I've been to uni a couple times, not there anymore, so safe to say it didn't quite go to plan. But the first time I enrolled was kind of like super. So you've got perspective on this as well because we went to the same sixth form or like college, whatever you want to call it. But they were very like, when are you applying for uni? When are you applying for uni? As opposed to, what are you doing after you leave school? Like, think about your options.
Given
So-
just a little bit more context for that, there was a massive board outside our head of sixth form's office, which had everyone's names on that were thinking about going to uni, with different milestones. It's like completing your personal statement, doing your choices, applying, getting applications, and you'd get in trouble, and not in trouble, but you'd get like spoken to by your form tutor or by the head of sixth form if you hadn't reached one of those milestones by a certain time, which was absolutely insane.
Yeah, no, I had one of those talkings too.
I had one as well, to be fair.
But yeah, I think the stupid thing about that is that even at the time, because sixth form or college is like, well, it wasn't that long ago for us really. As old as we want to feel, it was like 3-4 years ago. We were old enough at the time to know that they were just kind of doing that to look like a good school, really. Because if they could say that, 50, 60, whatever number % of our students went to university, then that's going to make them look a lot better than they actually are. Because, you consider the fact that they basically, I don't even know if peer pressure's the word, they kind of, no, peer pressure's a good word, because that is what it is. They kind of like shamed us if we didn't,
Yeah.
if we didn't apply.
I think the one thing that got me was that there was no assemblies about apprenticeships or getting a job after sixth form until after the UCAS deadline, which was
Tell a lie. To correct you there, I remember one assembly about apprenticeships, but this was before apprenticeships were like appealing at all, where you'd make like £4 an hour. It
See,
just wasn't something great.
the only assembly I remember about apprenticeships was one that we had, but it was after the UCAS deadline. So like
Brilliant.
that's what I mean. Like we had one
Oh, yeah,
assembly
yeah.
about apprenticeships, but it was after the deadline for UCAS. So it was like, you know, I know a couple people that are doing apprenticeships now, but applied for UCAS, and they felt awful because they put all that effort into applying for universities and like going to open days and stuff, only to be swayed by an apprenticeship that came after putting all that effort in.
So yeah, like they just didn't like communicate what our options actually were, and I know part of that's on us, but when they're saying so strongly like uni, then we've not really got in our minds any other option. But I do know people that, well, I do know somebody that's left school, got a job, and like moved quite a fair way up, like promotion wise. So like even just like, just going into work straight from leaving school is like a really valid option, even if you don't want to go to further education or get an apprenticeship or anything else.
I know someone that went to uni, dropped out of uni, and is now CEO of their own company and is earning no less than 52K a year.
That's not me. Just
That
just some clarification.
That's someone that did their first year or was halfway through their first year of university, and just said, "Nah, this ain't for me." But say that again.
Oh, sorry. What I was saying though, what I should have been saying is that so after all that happened, I applied for computer game development. I won't name the uni just because what's the point? But I applied for computer game development, got there, went to my accommodation, and like got in bed. The first thing I thought was like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this. Next day, unenrolled, left the uni, went back home. So yeah, I've done computer game development for not even a whole day at uni, which is big brain. Know a lot of computer game stuff. But computer games outside of education about it and coding and stuff, super big part of my life. Literally as long as I can remember, I've been glued to some kind of TV with a controller in my hands. So like, I know this is probably going to come up in a bit, so I might as well bring it up now. But like my best video game memory, actually I'll talk about my first one first, that feels appropriate. First video game memory is playing the game Quake 2, which is not appropriate for a 3 or 4 year old, however old I was at the time, because I swear it's like an 18 plus game on the PS1.
Wow.
But yeah, I played that. But my fondest video game memory, similar to yours, playing a football game, FIFA 7. Like, I still listen to that soundtrack sometimes just to like bring all the nostalgia back.
Yeah.
But more recently, I've played my favourite video game. Basically, it was like on offer on PlayStation, and it was like a HD remaster of BioShock. I like the whole trilogy, so I was like, why not? It's something that I've not completed before, so I might really enjoy it. And it's something that I'd actually tried to complete before, but never got around to. But I've played the first two, and they're just absolute masterpieces, really. That's all I can say. Like, literally, if I had to give a rating out of 10, it's really, really good. And if anyone's like a gamer or anything, I'd really give it a recommendation, because it's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'll throw that back over to you. So like your first memory, which I think you spoke about, didn't you? Or did you not?
I think I think playing the demo game would be, it's either that or playing Sonic Heroes. Um, because that was a game we had on the PS2, and I remember playing that so often. Um, because the first proper games console we had was a PS2, I'm pretty sure. Um, but my fondest video game, ooh,
Or just okay. Let me rephrase it.
mm.
What do you look back at? Like, what can you look back at now and think like that was your favorite game at the time, or
Oh,
like
my
what just brings you like ultimate nostalgia?
well, my favorite game. I can add to that. I was trying to think of a moment from a different game.
No,
Um,
that's what I mean. So like, what do you look back at and you think like that was my childhood, or like it just brings you like mega nostalgia? What video game, if there is one?
See, I don't know about nostalgia just because, um, like, I didn't have like the most money growing up,
Mm.
so we didn't get like the most recent games consoles. My mom always tried to give us like whatever she could. Like I remember she brought us Nintendo DS's when they came out because she saved and saved and saved. She got us an Xbox 360 when she saved, but we didn't get that as soon as it came out, and because we didn't have Wi-Fi, like I didn't even know really what Xbox Live was. Um, and like I don't really have a nostalgic video game. I do have a couple moments where I can think back to and think like that this is where like I don't want to say an obsession, but this is where like my fondness for video games really developed.
Mm.
My first one would be Modern Warfare 2. Um, I was speaking to you about this the other day actually.
Yeah.
Again, not really the most appropriate game for me to be playing at the age I was playing it at, but I mean, when I was in primary school, it was all I heard kids talking about. Don't know why, but they're always talking about like the stuff in Modern Warfare 2, but because it was a game that wasn't for my age rating, my my dad wouldn't let us get it. But then, without going into too much detail, my mom and dad got separated. And I asked my mom if I could get it, and she was like, "Okay, then, yeah." And that was when I thought, "Yeah, this is great." Like, I started playing Modern Warfare 2. I played the campaign. I played multiplayer with my older brother all the time. It was just the best. Like, I thought like I was actually like a gamer. You know what I mean? Um, but probably one of my favorite games is, oof,
Clarification. I feel like
mm.
you should make is this favorite game or like best game.
Oh, favorite
So I feel
game,
like that's two different things.
favorite game.
Okay.
This is by no means like the best game. Cause it's the best game for me. Um, but I don't think it is like a massive people pleaser. I think it appeals for a very specific audience. Um, but it's a game called The Unfinished Swan, and
I've seen it. You showed me before.
I adore that game. For to give people like a brief introduction to it, it is a first person game. It is a game where you play as a young boy, who is in this world full of paintings, and the world is just a blank canvas, and you go through a journey of discovery, chasing after a painting that his mother made, but didn't get to finish before she passed away, and it was a swan, hence named The Unfinished Swan. And you're literally armed with paintballs, and you have to throw the paintballs to make a world. So like literally the first thing you get thrown into is just all white, and then you throw these paintballs everywhere, and you start to see shapes form because it hits the walls and it shows you where a wall is or where the pathway is and stuff like that. And it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played, and the soundtrack to it is amazing. And I spent hours playing that game, just enjoying it. Um, but it is for a very niche audience. Um, I want to say, because there's gaming, there's like casual gaming, and
Mm.
then there's multiplayer and online gaming. Now,
Pro Fortnite players.
yeah, I've just said, like, I didn't have Xbox Live growing up, um, but what was the game that got you into like online gaming?
Oh. So the first one I ever played, I believe, was FIFA 10, I think.
Mm.
Because the way Xbox used to be, actually it might have just been my family, but only the one episode, the one. Oh no! This is what it was like. The one account had Xbox Live Gold, which is what you need to play online. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And we had it on like a trial because they're trying to get us to like buy it.
Mm.
So I went on FIFA and played like a mode where you control like one player, I think.
Yes, I know
A bit
the mod.
like Pro Clubs, if you know it, but not that. You like play with clubs instead.
Yeah, I know the mod you're on about actually.
Yeah. So I played that, and then I remember getting an assist and then being like, oh, well, I played crap. I didn't score. And then my dad was like, what are you talking about? But the first serious one is a tough question to answer. The first Call of Duty I ever owned, which was the first game I was like huge on multiplayer wise, was World at War. But I've never actually played that too much, so it would probably. See, I think an accurate way to say it would be, I didn't play World at War too much. Then its sequel, Modern Warfare 2, which you spoke about, I played a fair bit more, but not too much still. And then Black Ops came out, the sequel to the next game in the series after Modern Warfare 2, and that was really the one where I sank all my time. And it's pretty much regarded now as like one of the best ones. The story's like amazing, and I know that there's probably like a stigma around shooter games that the story is just pretty boneheaded because it's more about the action. But no, the story's quite insane, and up until the third game where the trilogy ends.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was probably the game that got me into multiplayer the most. But I'm glad you made that distinction because, like you said, multiplayer and like single player are totally different beasts.
I've just realised my camera stopped recording, so I'm just gonna turn that back on.
Okay. What dance now? Ooh, I don't even know any of the dances.
Don't worry, you don't
I'm
have
gonna make
to.
up one interpretive.
I'm back on.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, because I think it is because like I know that obviously when I was growing up, because I didn't have Wi-Fi and I didn't have Xbox Live and stuff, I didn't play any online. I just knew games for their campaign, and I just knew games as like local play. So like FIFA, I'd only ever play FIFA with my older brother, or if I took it round to my nan's with my Xbox, then my cousins would play. But like I didn't know anything about like Ultimate Team. Same with Call of Duty. Like I didn't know anything about like different guns, about trick shots, about anything like that. I just knew the campaign, which I loved, and me and my brother having stalemates in Burger Town in Terminal on Modern Warfare 2. Like
Wow.
like I didn't know anything about games, and then I got my PlayStation 3 and I got FIFA 13, and that was when I first played like online gaming where I played Ultimate Team, and I was whack. I was so rubbish.
Not much has changed there then.
No, not much has changed. But you know, I was like, this is fun being able to play with people online, but I still didn't play much online because I still don't have many games. One of my favorite games is Skate and Skate 2 and Skate 3. I love the skate games. I'm a skateboarder. I was like, I used to skateboard. I need to get back into it. But I love skateboarding, and those were some of the funnest games I played. Um, but like, I think the thing that really hit off multiplayer gaming for me,
Mm-hmm.
um, see, like I got the Xbox One the day it came out. Um, I got Call of Duty Ghosts with that, and I got FIFA with that, and I did play a little bit of Call of Duty and FIFA online. Um, a bit later into having the Xbox, that's when me and you started playing online. We played a
Yeah.
bit of FIFA and we played a bit of Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure. Um, and then I made the jump to PlayStation in my first year of uni, and Call of Duty World War II. That was my game,
That
and
was our game, really. We played that so much together.
we invested so much time into that. I mean, I don't have it now because I've given it to my little brother, to
Mm.
play because I've got the new Call of Duty. But before I gave it to my little brother, I'd still play it. Like I love that game, and it was the first Call of Duty that I actually invested time into learning. Like I prestige. That was the first Call of Duty I ever learned what prestige meant, and I
Mm-hmm.
prestiged a good couple times. I got gold camos on guns. I went ham. Like I just did. I came correct, bro. I logged on. I went flipping 24-0, and then I logged off. You know what I mean? Like, uh, I loved it, and I think that's where I really got into gaming. But I think the whole reason I got into online gaming was because I played with you. Like,
Oh.
I don't know, to give people like mad context. I would come home from sixth form, I'd go upstairs, um, and I'd set up a little monitor, my PS4 next to the monitor, and sit on the bed and play it. And then my mom would come upstairs and be like, if you want to carry on playing, you could go downstairs. I'd leave the game, unplug the PS4, go downstairs, play on the TV downstairs,
I remember that.
and it's just like we'd go for hours playing Call of Duty.
See, the
And
ironic thing about World War Two,
yeah,
I didn't like it that much. Because, like I said, I've played all of the other ones pretty much. Um, so that was one of the weaker ones in my opinion. But I think that was the one where you really like. I know you said it's because you played it with me as well,
mm.
but I think you caught the card bug
Yeah,
with that game because that's what I had with Black Ops and all the other ones.
yeah.
But you just caught it a bit late, and
See,
when the series is on a decline.
see, I love because I had all the Call of Duties before that. Apart from I got World at War later, like a lot later. I got that because my uncle was getting rid of a load of Xbox games and said, "Oh, you want some?" And I got that. But you know, I got Modern Warfare 2 when Black Ops had came out. I got Black Ops a little while after that, and Modern Warfare 3 was the first Call of Duty that I got pre-ordered, and then every Call of Duty after that I had pre-ordered up until um I didn't get Advanced Warfare. And was it Infinity War before that?
No, after that.
Okay, so I didn't get Advanced Warfare, I didn't get Infinity War, and
I think it was, if I'm not wrong, Advanced Warfare Black Ops. No, I think it was Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 4, World War Two.
I'm gonna quickly
Yeah,
search
please fact check.
uh
Um,
searching it up now. COD timeline. Okay, so I got Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2, Ghosts. I did get Advanced Warfare. I didn't get Black Ops or Infinity Warfare. Or Infinite Warfare,
so that was
sorry.
Black Ops 4 first. Then
Black
Infinite
Ops.
Warfare. Yeah, gosh,
It went
I
Infinite
should have known that.
Warfare, World War Two, Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare. So for me,
No, it was Black Ops 4. Then, oh yeah, never mind.
yeah.
Sorry.
So for me, I got up until Advanced Warfare, didn't
Hmm.
get Black Ops 3, didn't get Infinite Warfare, got World War 2, didn't get Black Ops 4, and now got Modern Warfare. Um, and I'm enjoying Modern Warfare, to be fair. I am. Get
Um,
to the ghoulie, get to the gulag. Uh,
See, I was about to say something, but it's not true. Thinking about it, but like this has been the first boots on the ground one at least, where like there's not like jetpacks and stuff, because that's what some of the the less favoured CODs have had,
mm,
where you like jump around and zoom around the screen. This is the first one I've not gotten, but like the first one where I've just been like, nah, COD's just not it this year was Ghosts, ironically.
mm.
Even though I can't remember the reason for not wanting that game. And then I want to say that I didn't. I skipped over Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, but I ended up caving into those. So I guess this really is the first COD that I've not bought, except for Ghosts.
See,
But this time I have like no enthusiasm for it anymore.
yeah, I completely agree with the whole boots on the ground thing, because that was the reason why I didn't get the ones that I didn't get, because
Mm.
and that was the reason why I got World War Two, because I got so fed up of being on some of the games and people just jetpacking all over the place. I was just like, I just don't like this. And then when I got World War Two, because I got it on offer because I got it during Black Friday. That was like one of the only reasons I got it. It was the only reason I got my PS4. Because it was on a special Black Friday deal. Um, and I was like, you know what? Because COD's there, and because I was getting FIFA with my PS4, I was like, I need another game because I'm not good at FIFA. Um, I'll get Call of Duty. I got it, and I was like, it's boots on the ground, and I absolutely love it. Um, but I was gonna say something. Forgot what. Oh, that was it. Um, we've spoken about games that we enjoy.
Mm.
Is there a game that you were not Call of Duty? Because I feel like that's a bit of a cop out answer. Is there a game that you were very much looking forward to, played it, and then were like, nah, this isn't it, and we're just
Actually,
thoroughly
yeah.
disappointed? What is it?
You know how I was saying I loved the first couple Bioshocks earlier?
Yeah.
Those were like my favourite games. The third one. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Um, Honestly, with the third one, you could have slapped a different title on it, and no one would have like batted an eyelid and been like, "Wait, this is Bioshock," because it's not.
Yeah.
It like takes place in a completely different setting. Gameplay is different. Characters are different. Like there's nothing that's the same compared to the other two games. Though I do think that they brought back the setting as DLC, so it's like the worst possible way to do a sequel.
Yeah.
Like make you have to pay extra just for the like actual game. But yeah, that'll be my answer. I don't know if you've got one as well, but I'm sure you can spin the gears.
Oh, I've got it. So, when I got Modern Warfare 2, I got it as a collector's edition, so it came in the steel case and the art book came with it. And I loved getting collector's editions when I was younger. Um, I just thought that was super cool, like the extra little things you got with it. And there was an old, like, video rental store by where I used to live. And you could actually purchase the DVDs and games there as well. So some of the games were there for rent and for purchase, and some of them were just there for purchase. And there was, what was it? I need to I'm gonna quickly just fact check this. Bear with, cause I don't want to get this wrong. Cause one I actually really liked.
I do reckon that it should probably be the last thing we talk on
Oh yeah.
about video games, because For people that aren't into it, it's a bit.
Yeah.
We've lost him a bit.
Halo
So
Wars.
appreciate if you're still here. What was it?
Halo Wars.
I've not even heard of that.
So like obviously I really like first person shooters. I had heard like loads of good things about Halo 3. And I saw Halo Wars and it was in this big bulky collector's edition case. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. Brought it and it was kind of like a Command and Conquer kind of game. And those just aren't for me. Like, I don't like the idea of like building an empire and watching the simulation of people like fight. No, I want to be the first person fighting those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halo Wars, not for me.
I did just think actually for a little segment. We're gonna have like an ideas process right now for the podcast. But this is the kind of stuff that we normally do away from the podcast, just to see if we can like bring any new segments in. But should we do like a person of the week? Because I feel like we both have one. If there is a person of the week segment.
I don't know, because what happens if there just isn't a person of the week?
Then it's us. Well, regardless, I feel like someone, even if we just gloss over it real quick, someone that deserves a really huge shout out. You know who I'm gonna say because we spoke about it before we started recording. But Captain Tom Moore, doing absolute amazing work for the NHS. If you're unfamiliar with who he is, if you're English, I don't know how you're unfamiliar with who he is. But basically he walks laps of his garden. 99-year-old man, so it's like...
Hi, hat.
I feel mean by saying it's like a spectacle, seeing him walk around. But yeah, he's walking around doing some exercise for the NHS. And I think he initially wanted to raise like 500,000, I think, is on his fundraiser page. And the last time I checked, it could be a lot more than this now. He was at £18 million. So, yeah, no, he's just doing absolute amazing work. And I just thought he deserved a shout out.
Yeah, sorry, I have been listening to you, but Hatch just come in to get her phone.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
She says hi. Alright, bye. But yeah, no, Defo deserves a shout out. I think it is absolutely incredible what he is doing. I just think, as much as this situation has been like a very dark time, it has brought out some amazing stories, and I think that is one that just like highlights the pinnacle of how caring and how amazing people are. And it's just like,
absolutely,
it's just like the guy is 99 years of age and he's still doing amazing things, and it's just like, I think that is something that gets embedded into people, like, you're too old to do this, or you're too young to do this, or one person can't make a difference. A guy at 99 years old who has lived through some horrendous stuff has raised an insane amount of money for a cause that he believes in. It's not like he's there like, oh yeah, I want to raise money for myself, or oh yeah, I need this, I need that. He's doing it for the good of everyone, and it's incredible.
See, the thing as well about raising money for the NHS is that I feel like it appeals to everyone. It's not like a political thing. Like, wherever you lie politically, no one's, I don't think, ever going to argue the healthcare system's making too much money.
Yeah.
So, like, we need to give them all the help they can get, especially now, where stuff's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But I feel like it might be time to talk on the big news that we have.
Yeah. So, big news, and this is what I was speaking about a little earlier, about something that me and Sam did collectively. um, we have confirmed that we will have our first guest on the podcast for their own little segment in our
See,
next episode.
I don't think we're going to reveal who it is yet, but
No.
like, literally, I want to like explode and just say who it is because it's like so crazy and insane that
Yeah.
they've even agreed to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like I've been talking to my you and my mum and my sister about it, and like see, this is what it's doing to me. I'm literally speechless.
This is like, obviously it'll be a bit more obvious when it comes to it, but my family are gonna think it's absolutely insane.
Oh yeah, no, you're gonna have to share it with everyone.
Like, I know that there's a certain member of my family, and I know that he knows like about this person, and I know he's gonna message me on Facebook and be like, that's crazy, like honestly, like like I said, I reckon my nan even knows who the person is. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane.
I think the way that I'd summarise it is that like pretty much any guest at this point would be like, how did they get them on the podcast? Because what we set at right now as of recording is 20 subscribers, but especially after next week's episode that might like go crazy. There's a chance. But I don't know about you, but I'm seriously looking at who we've got on and I'm like, how is he on the podcast? Like I just can't understand it or why they've agreed. But I'm like so thankful and amazed and surprised that they've agreed to come on.
I'm completely the same. Like, I've had a couple moments like this in my lifetime, and it's just like, you know, I've had a couple times where I've sat there and thought, how have I managed to get into this situation, or how have me and this person managed to get into this sort of situation or event or meet this person. But it's just like, those things have come from the help of like other people. It's like, one of them is I've met royalty. You know, I've met Prince Charles and Camilla, and you know, I've shaken hands with some pretty big people in the broadcast industry that came from the Royal Television Society. I worked at the UK's first Punjabi Film Awards, and that came with a placement that I did. But this is something that me and Sam have done with no help. We're just two dudes chatting whatever we want to on the internet for fun.
See, it was actually quite a beautiful moment because I emailed his team while I was on Skype with Charlie playing Fortnite because we're grown men.
Yeah.
And like, I just wrote up an email. Thought like, you know, it's best to shoot our shot because you never know. And then his team got back to us. I feel like it's like within less than an hour, which is like
it was within less than half an hour.
Yeah, it was super
quick.
It was a super rapid response. And then I saw that they replied, and because of all the jobs that I've applied for that have rejected me, I saw they replied and I was like, oh yeah, cool, that's fine. And then I actually read the email, and then it said, oh yeah, he'd be happy to show up on your podcast. And I literally lost my mind. And Charlie heard everything. And I think he lost his a bit. Then I called my mum, and I told her, and she lost hers.
But then Hat came in from work, and I told her, and she was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's just insane. And I'm really trying to like watch my words just to try not let it slip who it is.
Same.
But if you know who it is, then it's going to be a great episode. If you don't know who it is, then it's going to be a great episode.
Say, like, this is the thing. This is one of those people that will just be a pleasure to listen to. And I think I can speak for both myself and Sam, where I say this isn't an episode you want to miss because you're going to learn some stuff. And I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna sit there and you're just gonna smile at what this person has to say, because I know whenever I've seen something that they've said or seen something that has been recorded of them, I just sit down and I'm like, that's great, man. And
See, and you know we really mean it because we've never said that about any episode before. Um, and like I said earlier, we don't embellish anything. Like, this isn't clickbait. This is someone that I've said before that my dream like podcast guest is someone that has a story to tell. And if he doesn't have a story to tell, then I don't think anybody does.
I'm just saying, we haven't actually had any interaction with this person. We've spoken to their team, but I just know it's going to be one of those things where we can talk to that person for hours. Like, you know.
See, we found out as well earlier, because we were writing up questions for this person, and then I said to Charlie, like, we need to really email his team and like find out how long we're gonna have him for, just so we know like how many questions we can ask, like pick the most important ones. And then they replied, his time's flexible, like how long do you want? So that's really not an outcome that I saw at all when I was typing that email.
This is the thing, from having to work with contributors before, it is so uncommon that you get something like that. Like,
yeah, no, because in the initial email, I literally said, like, we know his time, like, we know a lot of people are probably going to want to talk to him. So if we do talk to him, we'll only use like a few minutes of his time. And then for them to say, his time's flexible, how long do you want? Like, we had no idea what number to even say. Yeah. So we've said, like, half an hour. But like, if it's less, then that's fine, because it's a privilege to have him on the show in the first place.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, how we got him on, no idea. How we have him for so long, no idea.
Are we grateful for it? Of course we are.
Well, it's our first interview as well. First guest, first interview. Yeah. It's like big things. And I said to his team in the email when they accepted the podcast invitation, I said, like, this is really going to take us to the next level, and like, I thanked him for accepting. But yeah, it's scheduled to happen Monday at 11 a.m. That's for us. Like, we're not going to broadcast it or anything. Then it's going to go up the same date.
Yeah.
The podcast normally goes up, so it'll be.
Yeah, this isn't going to be like a live interview. This is going to be an interview that's going to be included as a segment within the podcast.
Yeah, so that'll go up when episode 6 goes up.
Yeah, we're still gonna have our weekly Teacup. We're gonna have our interview with our guest, and you know, if it is a short interview, then you know we might speak about some more stuff. If the interview goes on for half an hour, we think it's a good place to leave the episode. It will just be the Teacup and the interview, but you know, you gotta tune in to see how it all pans out.
See. The really good thing as well is that like we're gonna record our segment, like just me and you talking, on the Friday. So we're gonna have done the interview by the time we record like our bit. So like we're gonna be able to talk about what was said, and we won't have to be like, you know, I wonder what he says or anything.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, have our statements be outdated. We're gonna actually be able to reflect. But yeah, once again, super grateful for them accepting. We'll know for sure, like, after it happens, that it's happened. But yeah, I can't see them like pulling out. But if they do, then you know, it gave us a good smile at least. Yeah. But I don't think they will.
No.
But yeah, no, it's just crazy.
But I think that is a good place to leave this podcast in a bit of suspense for the next episode.
I'm still speechless. Every time I think about it, I just can't talk. So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to sign off from a podcast, but I will give it my best shot.
Yeah.
So I guess, unless there's anything else you want to say, Charlie.
No, Not really.
Stay home.
Stay at home.
Stay at home.
Stay safe. Play Fortnite. 1v1 me on Rust. I'll see you in the gulag.
That's just in case, by the way. We are like interviewing them over Skype. We're not like seeing anyone.
Yeah, we're
unnecessarily.
We're not those guys. We ain't those people. We're not risking our lives and other people's lives. This will be a Skype interview. Again, just like with this episode, if there is any technical difficulties, it will be put as a disclaimer at the start of the video. However, me and Sam have discussed this. I've worked on a couple interviews like this, so we shouldn't have any problems. But yeah, we're staying safe, so you stay safe.
It's going to be absolutely amazing next episode. But I've forgotten to mention, like I do every episode. Last we checked, was it 50%, Charlie?
It
50% of the people that are watching us.
It was 58%, because I'm pretty sure it was 42% that were.
So 58% of people that watch the videos aren't subscribed. So if you've made it this far, then I'll really hope that means that you like the content and want to see more. So if you would be so kind as to give us a subscribe, then that would be super appreciated. You can turn on notifications to know when our episodes go up every Sunday. And we also have social medias that you can follow.
All in below.
So I'll name off mine first, Charlie. Just, so we don't get all confused. So I've got my Twitter at Samtrahan, so it's @ then AT Samtrahan, because I'm goofy like that. Then my Instagram, Samtrahan Official. The podcast is also on Instagram and Twitter. On Twitter it's SIAT Pod, and on Instagram it's Storm and the Teacup Podcast. And Charlie, what are your social medias?
So my Twitter is Charlie_MCM. My Instagram, I have two. My personal is CharlieMCM20. Funny enough, next week I'm no longer going to be 20. Might have to update that to 21. My visuals account is Visuals by Charlie. And I'm going to do a little plug. For one of my uni assignments, I've had to completely revamp my portfolio website. I'm going to put that in the description if you want to go see some work that I've done. If you want to go see my show reel, which does have a little cameo appearance from Sam in it, head over to the website. The link will be in the description. But yeah, have a quick look.
Beardless, longer hair, glowing down Sam.
Yeah,
is in that.
Have a little gander, because I'm not gonna lie, I've worked hard on it, and I'd love some feedback. But yeah,
I believe that is everything.
That is it. Yeah. Thanks all of you that have stuck around. If you have made it this far, big thanks, big thumbs up. Yeah.
And yeah, we will speak to you whenever.
We will speak to you whenever.
Don't miss next episode.
Don't do it. You'll kick yourself.
We swear it is so worth it. We will speak to you whenever.
Speak to you whenever.
And
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.